My first question is taken directly from your election manifesto. You say we are against dictatorship. What do you mean by this?
Over the last few years, we've lost many of our state powers to Brussels. This has provoked a negative reaction from the people. For example, within the context of the European Union's Reform Treaty, we're losing control in areas like justice, rights of asylum, etc. These powers are all transferring to Brussels, and this annoys us enormously.
You would like to hold a referendum?
We'd like a referendum because we believe the people should be consulted on the fundamental changes being made in our relations with Brussels and with other EU countries.
We've just used the Austrian hello, grüß Gott. Do you believe in God?
Of course.
Therefore, do you believe your God is happy about your action to block the construction of any more mosques containing minarets?
I think yes, because if prayer houses are abused for fundamentalist objectives, this has nothing to do with religion, and therefore they should not exist here. I'm against Islamic fundamentalism in particular. It's spreading more and more in Europe. Take one Prime Minister of Turkey who said, our minarets are our bayonets, our domes are helmets, our mosques our barracks, our believers our soldiers. This makes me think. This has nothing to do with religion, with peace. This is corrupted thought. I don't need visible symbols of such kinds of Islamic fundamentalist power play. I think in my country we need a law against the perpetuation of this to ensure we have no more minarets.
Perhaps such views do exist, but the large majority of believers in Allah want to integrate into Austria. Isn't this an insult to them, to deny them their religious freedoms?
Not at all. They left their countries, often because they didn't want any more of this extremism, this fundamentalist approach towards their religion. Here in Europe, in Austria, they find it's possible to practice their beliefs when they pray in their mosques, as they call them, but there's no need for the minarets.
You've already mentioned Turkey. Does Turkey have a place in the European Union?
I believe that Turkey is something of an ambiguity, neither Asian state nor European. One must find a new way for Turkey. For sure, Turkey is an important partner to build a bridge regarding a common energy policy. We must ensure deliveries of gas and oil from the Caucasus and Asia. We must find a way not to be dependent on Russia.
From reading about your political views and from your election manifesto, I'm a little disconcerted by your use of inflammatory remarks against asylum seekers. I don't understand it.
I don't make inflammatory remarks. A politician whose job is to ensure the safety of the population does not make inflammatory remarks. That probably comes from my critics. But I do ask those asylum seekers who come to Austria seeking protection to behave well, like a guest. But to keep in their mind their presence here will only be tolerated for a limited time. And if they don't behave well, I say good luck and send them on their way. It's very simple. Asylum seekers who break the law, they must leave the country.
Back in 2000, it was policy that after 1945, no extreme right-wing participation in government would be acceptable in an EU member state.
Well, we weren't a right-wing party. Since 1948-49, we were a political movement. We used to call ourselves something different, a political movement present in the Austrian parliament expressing a centre-right position.
In 2000, because of your party's membership within the Austrian government, no top-ranking European politician wanted to shake hands with government members. Austria's isolation lasted several months. Today, what has changed, you or Europe?
The European Union has recognized that democratic elections can't be influenced from outside. Otherwise, the EU should have imposed sanctions against Italy, against Berlusconi and the Northern League, and all of those kinds of parties in power which share many of our ideas. The EU should have imposed sanctions against Denmark, where the government there completely cut itself off from Europe's immigration policy and backed away from the EU. But no sanctions were imposed. This shows the EU wanted to make an example of Austria to intimidate other member states.
As Austria's general election moves nearer, who would you want to form a coalition with? The Conservative People's Party again? But they have distanced themselves from you as they are a pro-European integration party and you are against that. What sort of coalition would you like to create?
The People's Party has changed over the last few years with regards to security and immigration. They've learned a lot from us on the issue of fighting against the abuse of asylum seeking. In the election campaign, they've put a lot of emphasis on areas which are completely compatible with our political program. It goes to show just how important the existence of our party is.
Gut, Dankeschön. Okay, bitteschön. Einen schönen Tag noch. Danke.